Welcome to another episode of Spinner Block TV, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Spinner Block TV, y'all. We're finna go down through the. Today we will be exposing Ja Rule. Spinner Block TV, y'all.
Ja Rule's dirty little secrets, and just like his other feuds, Ja found himself getting hit from all directions.
You know you be fucking niggas too, right?
No.
Yeah, man, some nigga that was styling his clothes and shit. I got the inside information, man. Some nigga that was styling his clothes for one of them shows, got him ecstasy that one night and fucked him. All these fucking niggas, I'm telling you, dog. Oh my mama. Oh my mama.
Let's dive in deeper. DMX and Ja Rule's friendship. Now, before all the beef and back and forth, DMX and Ja Rule were actually cool. They were friends. In fact, DMX was a big part of Ja Rule's come-up. Early in Ja's career, he used to be DMX's hype man, rolling with X and soaking up and Ja. This was all to the point where DMX shared what many believe was the real reason he was going after Ja Rule. He claimed that Ja was involved with men, hinting that he might be gay.
You know you be fucking niggas too, right?
No.
Yeah, man, some nigga that was styling his clothes and shit. I got the inside information, man. Some nigga that was styling his clothes for one of them shows, got him ecstasy that one night and fucked him. Ja Rule was fucking niggas, I'm telling you, dog. Oh my mama.
This is where things got deep because DMX didn't just leave it at that. Around this time, he started speaking more openly about what he believed was really going on in the music industry, talking about how some record label execs were doing shady things with artists, and how some artists were doing anything, including compromising themselves, just to make it big.
What's going down with the industry,
The
dog?
industry is full of a bunch of dick sucking, dick riding, bending over the desk ass niggas, straight up like that. Whoever don't like it, bring it, nigga. Bring it. I don't give a fuck. Bring it. Well, the industry is full of
Excuse the language, y'all.
hating ass niggas.
He even addressed this in one of his tracks,
Yeah,
Where the
it's
Hood At.
false,
In the song, he raps, "Last I heard, y'all dudes was having S with the same S. I show no love to homo thugs."
Sex with the same sex. Show no love.
That verse had people talking heavy, especially because years later, certain insiders started to come forward with stories that seemed to back up what DMX was saying. One of the most talked about stories came from Gene Deal, who used to work as a bodyguard for Diddy. According to him, Diddy had just bought a bunch of S toys, and then he and a famous rapper went into a hotel room together. Gene says while he was guarding the door, some guy came looking for his cousin, who happened to be Ja Rule. Gene told him Ja was in the room with Puff and didn't want to be disturbed. The dude wouldn't back off, so Gene had to put his hands on him to calm him down.
So I opened the door, and the dude said, "Yo, I'm here for my cousin." I said, "Who your cousin?" He said, Ja Rule.
Not long after, Gene said both Diddy and Ja Rule came out of the room wearing just towels. He claims they were both naked under the towels and the vibe was off.
When I threw him into the piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they buck naked.
That story started fueling rumors that maybe this beef between X and Ja wasn't just about the music or style biting. After all of that build-up, this whole situation between DMX and Ja Rule took a wild turn and got way more serious. The friendship was long gone by this.
First and foremost, I just want to say, I know a lot of people want to hear these stories and everything like that because this is stuff that happened back in the day. And then maybe that if they knew there was going to ever be a YouTube or they knew there was going to ever be social media, a lot of the stuff probably wouldn't have got played out like it did. But things happen, and these are just stories from the past. I would like to use that as, what you call that, just to clear the facts up what's going on. But it all started, we was in Atlanta. And this story starts when I'm with Puff and he's in the exotic bookstores and he's doing shopping, right? He's shopping, getting his stuff and everything like that. So, you know, this is the first time I was ever in the exotic bookstore with Puff. So, you know, I'm giving him his space. He's taking things off the shelves and stuff like that because they gave him a brown paper bag. When they gave him a brown paper bag, he was just putting stuff in there. So I said, damn, you know, he got to go put it on the counter and, you know, show everybody what he's getting. So as he going, I'm just looking at the places where he picking stuff from. So there's one part he picked up some things from up here on my left side. And then he picked like quite a few of them down. I was like, okay. He put them in the bag. So when I went by there and I looked up there and it said butt plugs. And I was like, hey, yo. I was messing with him. Because people don't understand, you know, we was like friends. He was a part of the same gang. So I'm still going to tease him. I'm still going to mess with him and everything like that. I could do that. It wasn't just no security thing. So I say, yo, what are you getting this for? And it said butt plugs. And he was like, yo, can I do my shopping by myself? I said, yeah, you can do it by yourself, brother. And he started walking and everything like that. So when he got I just waited at the counter. So when he got to the counter, he didn't even have to show the guy nothing. He just gave the guy a wad of money. I mean, like, he gave the guy a stack something like this. And Puff wasn't the dude that carried no 20s and no 50s and nothing like that. And I mean, like, he just said, boom. And we walked out the store. So we had to leave Atlanta and go to North Carolina for a show. You understand? And it was him, this rapper, Sarah, and this other girl. We all got on a G5 jet, and we flew to G4 jet, and we flew to North Carolina. So later on that, I think that afternoon, same day, this rapper and him, they all in the room together. You know, Sarah, the girl, Puff, and this dude, this rapper. So I'm here at the door and stuff like that. Like, yeah. So then next thing you know, somebody rang the doorbell. We had the presidential suite where we was at. So I opened the door and the dude said, yo, I'm here for my cousin. I said, who your cousin? He said, Ja Rule. I said, well, he busy right now. He said, he busy doing what? I said, he with Puff. They in the room, they busy. They don't want to be bothered. He said, well, I'm going in there. I said, bro, you ain't going in there because he told me they don't want nobody to be bothering them. He was like, yo, I don't care, man. I'm going in there. That boot like that. I said, yo, bro, Jesus Christ had to come down here and take the air out of my body before you get in that room right there. Watch. He tried to bum rush me. I grabbed it and threw him against the piano. When I threw him into the piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt naked. And so then Ja was like, yo, what's going on? Yo, Jay, that's my cousin. He know me well. You know, and Puff was like, yo, Jay, what happened? I said, he tried to get in the room. I told him he couldn't get in the room. And he was like, Puff looked at Ja. He said, yo, Ja said, you didn't want to go in that room because there's a lot of freaking going on. So I was like, oh, he said it was a lot of freaking going on. So that was basically that story, man. You know what I'm saying? They went back in the room. Dude felt a certain kind of way, and he left out. So I seen them at the concert the next day, and they tried to, you know, form up against me. But my man Frank was like, I told my man Frank, I was like, yo, Frank. But my man Frank was like, I told my man Frank, I was like, yo, Frank, put yourself in that position. Somebody trying to get in the room, and Ja told you don't let nobody get in the room. What would you do? Now, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do, man. But you know I ain't taking no losses. He said, yo, you good, and that was it. Bro, when Ja said, you don't want to come up in there, a lot of freaky stuff is going on. You got to use your mind. What they was doing with those butt plugs.
Right. Yeah,
that was crazy. Yeah, it was real wild.